Today we're discussing Sunbelt plastic or fabric. It comes in a roll, it's 300 foot long. Used about half of it so far. It's thick, it's kind of woven, and it's got this yellow band in 4 sections. It's split apart in the 1 foot sections there. So today I'm going to show you how I use this in my garden. So we just finished burning the holes in the Sunbelt plastic here. You'll see here that my gauge is only a small piece of plywood. It was only like 4 foot or 3.5 foot wide. I put the measurements in it, so I'll recommend to you buy a 4x8 sheet of plywood. It'll hold down, you'll be able to do more at one time, do them all in one sector, not have to do each individual line. It's much slower this way. I just used scrap plywood that I had, so I wanted to make sure that this worked really well, and so probably this winter I'll buy 4 or 5 sheets of plywood and put my different patterns on them, drill the holes in them, and then with a paint marker write on them, this is for squash, this is for this, lettuce, and whatever. So that's what I recommend. Sunbelt is awesome. If you had a smaller flame weeder than I had, maybe a hand propane, it would go a little smoother. Sometimes my holes get a little bit bigger, so I'm using like an 1 3/4 hole in my plywood, and my hole always ends up being bigger. When I want to end up with a 2-inch or something close to that, when I started with the hole that was 2-inch, my holes got to be 2.5, 3 inches. So I wanted something smaller, so I made my hole smaller because of the size of my flame weeder right now. So I hope that helps you when how we lay those out.
Ready to plant lettuce and kale today. I, the farmer's wife, taking the little ones for a walk so that they can fall asleep.
All right, so first step, I had a muslin mix here, cropped it out. Actually, my dinosaurs helped me with that. The chickens over there, they kind of love that stuff. So around the garden today is going the chicken netting. I had planned on electric fence and stuff once stuff got bigger for the deer and the coons around here, but the chickens, they like my muslin mix apparently. So we cropped this out, I've tilled it up, and next I'm going to compost it. Got my little tractor, got a scoop of compost. You can see how nice our compost is here. Really fine, broke up real nice. It's amazing that it started from a pile that looked crazy like that. So we're going to spread this. What do you got? Next, I'm going to run my tilther over it. This is a little T tiller. It only goes about 1 inch deep. I got from Johnny Seeds. So I'm going to run that all the way over everything, put the compost in the ground. Gonna do a little quick rake, 15-inch rake. Do that real quick, knock it down, just make sure everything's level before I put the fabric down. You noticed I paused there in the center. I was using my rake upside down, dragging to kind of get level. Pulled up some sticks, so I kind of just threw those over in the aisleway, stomped those in. All right, I got my drip irrigation laid out through here. You notice there's only 1 tube. I had to make my drip irrigation. I couldn't buy this because of the gravity feed. It wouldn't, the pressure I have won't open up typical drip irrigation. So I made this. It sprays out fairly quick, wets it and soaks it down, and actually when I see it running into the aisles, that's when I shut it off. So it's very different. It's a setup here. I don't have water back here yet, but drip irrigation's down. Next we're gonna put the fabric out. Here we go. All right, our fabric's down. You can see I'm using bricks only because I have them. That's kind of the way I'm doing things around here now, as cheap as I can go. They were left here at the farm, stacked everywhere all over this place, and I cleaned them up, put them on a skid, found a use for them. So I'm going to hold down my fabric with them for now. I would recommend sandbags over something rigid like this. If the wind gets to whipping, these technically could rip this fabric. It's a risk I'm taking because of the price, but sandbags work a little better, and they tend to kind of mold to the ground around them. So next we're going to start transplanting. I've got 2 different types of head lettuce and a tray of kale. The spacing is all the same. I typically would not recommend this to everybody. Typically the market gardeners are doing a whole row of the same variety, so they know what's there and they crop it all out at once. But we're gonna intermix it here just for some biodiversity and for the testing. So I'm only gonna do a certain section, measure it off, and I'll tell the yields by that. So here we go. My wife and I are gonna transplant. We'll come back when we're done. All right, so we just finished all our transplanting. We got kale at the other end. Then we've got 2 different varieties of lettuce. There are 4 spots every 10 to 12 inches, okay? So at least 200 spots in this 50-foot row, or 200 heads of lettuce if you grew it now. So if you, $2 a head of lettuce is a cheap price, $3 at a farmer's market around here. So essentially there's $400 worth of profit on 1 turn in a 50-foot row possible, okay? So we're only doing the 1 row. We're starting just to kind of do our time studies and stuff like we've said, and for our CSA, but it's all in. This is how we use the fabric. We're using the bricks. I did recommend the sandbags, and there is irrigation underneath of it, and it's going right now. Finished up the day. We got some jalapenos planted in, transplanted. We're going to transplant some trays tonight as we go in the house, and kind of finish up and clean up as we got rain coming. So appreciate you watching our videos. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. As always, we always appreciate your support, and continue growing your own and doing the things in your area, and look out for some things coming from us. Appreciate it.